Hey everybody, real quick note, this episode didn't go as planned. It went better than planned. This episode was actually supposed to be a bonus episode for the Patreon supporters only, and so you're going to hear us referencing that within it. But then when we were done recording it, we were like, you know what, we want to do another one of those episodes all about movies anyway, because there's endless stuff to talk about. And so we decided that also putting this out would give you guys a little preview into the sort of content that we put out on Patreon and make it public for you. So just a little bit of context. And other than that, enjoy this episode.
Smello, and welcome to another episode of the Spin Podcast, where we spin the news in the direction that helps the people. Helps
do
the people
the
paying us the money
to get more views.
Yeah, more views. But on a more serious note, this actually is Mind Under Matter. So if you're not enrolled in this, or sorry, it's Mind Under Art. If you're not enrolled in the class,
serious note so quickly.
Yeah,
if you're not enrolled, serious note didn't seem very serious either. I don't know. There was something about it that didn't seem. It wasn't the most serious of notes.
It may not seem serious, but it is. And if you're not enrolled in Mind Under Art, then please leave. You must enroll in this class. There's only a limited number of seats. So those of you who are enrolled, welcome to another exciting episode of looking at art, talking about it, shouting out the name of the person that suggested the art, and just having a good time in general. The only place you can have a good time. You've seen the rest of the internet. It's a garbage heap. Outside is boring. Inside makes you anxious. But this place is safe. So
this
we're here to entertain your ass.
Secret, private thing. And if you're watching this and you aren't paying us, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And I would appreciate an apology and you leaving or just giving us money. Either way. You
invented Patreon, right? That's how you're looking at this? You think the guy that invented Patreon just
just watches our stuff?
That's the person that started OnlyFans. Think of how much free nudes they look at.
Yeah. There's so much.
Yeah. And they don't pay for any of it. And they take the money from the people that have the accounts.
Yeah.
If I was Mark Zuckerberg, not that Mark Zuckerberg owns OnlyFans, but like think of how many DMs you can look at as Mark Zuckerberg. How many private messages, and you can filter by like, I'm going to look up anal and see how many people are talking about anal. Mm-hmm. And, so much privacy. That man can look at so much more privacy than we can.
Well, maybe we should do a Mind Under Matter app where we encourage people to be themselves under...
The Mind Under Matter dating app. The photos only dating app.
Photos and hashtags only. So when we pick the hashtags, we have different categories, and it's totally private. It's just a way to share with other Mind Under Matter people and us, even though we have been talking about the idea of the owner looking at the thing. We're totally not looking at your buttholes or
the butthole only dating app where like you don't get to put a name. It's only a picture of your butthole. And then based on the other ones you see, you either press in or you back out. And how did we meet? We met on Butthole Blur. Bumbler. Butthole. This is some of the best podcasting we've done. This might even top Karl Marx's skin disease that made him put a razor blade in his butthole, which he then would have used as a dating app
a solid
profile
callback.
picture.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, on our butthole app, I feel like it would have people caring a lot more, you know. Usually that's the area that you get to leave alone for most of the time. You'd be like, I'm not going on a date tonight. I'm going to leave that alone. But
Yeah.
people would. There'd be makeup artists and stuff. We could change the world. I'm confident.
I'm a big fan of very minimalist dating apps. I don't know if they exist yet, but in my head, I think it would just be so funny to have a dating app that's just sentence, and you get one sentence. That's it. And then you swipe left or right based on that sentence. And you have to hook up at least once if you match with someone. And otherwise they like come arrest you. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Like you just get bad reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Which that would be shitty if they put ratings and reviews on dating sites, because then it'd be a lot of pressure. That's not like the Uber driver having to pretend to be nice to you.
There is one actually.
A lot of forced beaches.
I forget what it was called, but there was one that's for women writing shit about men and rating them. And then there was another that men write about women and tear them apart. But maybe they got shut down. This is like from a decade ago.
Yeah, it's probably unhealthy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this episode today is from Tommy DiStefano, who he's at Hedonic Health on Instagram. Probably has one of the fittest buttholes on our app. if I had to guess, his Instagram page is like nothing but he's just like, he's got a great bod. He's like eating healthy. He's doing all these wellness things.
Flexible.
Probably just a fantastic, super flex. Yeah, he's doing yoga and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably has just like a killer butthole. A lot of people are going to be pressing in.
Yeah, you might want to, I don't know, watch yourself. Disable that account for a minute. You might get too many presses in.
It's so the art piece is a single step. I always say they're like one of my favorite, but this one, I mean, they always mean different things to me, but this one we had done an episode not too long before the time that this came out that was about small incremental gains, and this was just a really nice way of phrasing and articulating those same sort of, whether that was conscious or not, but it's really nothing is.
Yeah, I want to be of the school that, you know, when they say like everything is conscious, the rocks are conscious, the galaxy is conscious, the whole cosmos is conscious. I want to represent the other side of say like nothing is conscious. We're all
Stop
exactly
taking
like
my
rocks.
job. Get off my shtick. You're supposed to be the other guy.
We're all exactly rocks. My new book.
This is nice. So, Tommy at Hedonic Health, he says, I occasionally share some of Ramin's motivational stuff on a health and fitness group I started on Facebook.
Thank you.
Yes, Facebook, good for groups and stuff. That's the only thing I think Facebook still has going for it. Like they have a good group system going on. You can get in different meetup-ish groups in your area. I'm in a pickleball group. There's just a lot of, it can be a little annoying with the like constant bombardment of alerts or whatever, but you just got to be mindful of those settings.
No, the groups are hilarious. They're like Reddit and beyond level meme groups. Like I just can't get enough.
Really?
Yeah, every meme group that if there's got one meme that I like, I subscribe to that meme group, and it's changed my whole Facebook experience for the best. Yeah, it's just all stupid prequel memes, and like I'm just howling to myself, like just scrolling through these like a slot machine. Like, oh, this one's gonna be okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. Oh, that one's a good one. It's got Obi-Wan like as a banana, like his head is on a banana. He's like, "You were supposed to bring balance to the Force and destroy the Sith, not join them. You are my brother, Bananakin. I love you." And then there's another banana that's like all burned because he died, but just the dumbest shit you can imagine. That's what I fill my brain with.
That's incredible. I'm learning all sorts of things about you.
Yeah.
And so he says, and this was one of the first ones I felt compelled to share. I'm a health nutrition coach, nice butthole, personal trainer, and do you know what this is? Capoeira?
Caprera? John Cabrera?
Capoeira. I'm sorry that I don't know what that is. I'm sorry to myself.
Caprona?
Oh, it's a martial arts thing. It's a martial arts thing. It's a Brazilian martial arts.
Oh, so it's like
Capoeira.
Is it like Muay Thai maybe? You probably use your body in order to
from
do stuff.
Describing what this is. I can read the Wikipedia from like that's hard to imagine having just someone that just discovered your life passion, didn't know it was a thing before that, and then they just wing a description of what it is. Like, yeah. So it's like it's like a dance, aerobics, music, sort of martial artsy thing from Africa. Which you
said Brazil, not Africa, right?
Well, it was practiced by enslaved Africans in Brazil at the beginning of the 16th century. Lots of interesting history here. Known for its aerobic and complex maneuvers, often involving hands on the ground and inverted kicks. Oh, I love a good inverted kick.
Me too.
We just did a movie episode. We talked a lot about Arnold Schwarzenegger, gave no love to Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, JCVD.
Bloodsport. There's I like the Dumock. I don't know if the Capoeira has the Dumock in it, but it's just Jean-Claude Van Damme just does that.
Palm strike.
To your stomach.
Palm strike army. Graham Elwood. Do you remember Graham Elwood, the guy that opens for Doug Benson a lot?
Yeah.
That was his closer where he would talk about being a yellow belt in karate, and he just learned palm strike. Which, does anyone do karate anymore? Because it's all about Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, kung fu, judo, caprese salad, caprono. Like, do you think the guy that owns the karate studio is just like, as soon as someone comes through the door, they just fix their hair really quick and straighten out their karate outfit? Like, hey, there's still openings. Hi, can I get you something to drink? No, don't go.
Well, karate's always been like for little kids, seemingly. And so I just feel like everything else has been trying to distance itself from karate. Like, oh, we aren't karate. And so, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's karate.
I'm not even sure what the strength of is karate more general, because I think kung fu is more about striking. Jiu-jitsu is more about getting the fight to the ground and getting someone in a arm bar or triangle and just disabling them without having to strike. Judo is about throwing people. Muay Thai is more of a kickboxing thing.
Man, I'm so happy that we did this, because just do yourself a favor and Google karate in your local area. If you, it's not going to work in LA.
No, I'm going to look up karate in LA. That's what the bands are paying for.
But do it like, find like a smaller city that you're familiar with, because I just did my hometown, and this is wow. Okay. It's like it's a family run thing. There's teen adult programs.
My friend took his daughter out of karate at age 6
karate
because they made them say the Pledge of Allegiance every time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, this is a recent thing.
Actually, it was like a decade ago, but he just didn't like that they made them say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledges of Allegiance, any pledges, any allegiance types things, super horseshit. In my book, I know.
What about the Canadian one?
Beautiful meaning.
Canadian one is good.
You believe the Canadian one is good?
I wholeheartedly believe in, "O Canada, our home and native land, to pay good trust." I don't even remember it. And what's funny is that we grew up singing it half in French and then half in English. So it just transitions out of nowhere into French. It's kind of funny.
And this is, you enjoy it?
No. I was just doing it as a bit. I intended the bit to last like 10 seconds, and sometimes I stay in it like a K-hole.
I was first. It was convincing for a while, and then I was like, "Oh, he's joking." And then I was like, "It'd be fun if you had a weird aspect about you that just liked pledges for some reason." But yeah, that's a good reason. I want to live in a world where more people take their kids out of karate because of the Pledge of Allegiance. Though I have to say, what did you think karate was about? Like, you go into karate and you gotta expect there's going to be some cheesiness involved. There's going to be, isn't it built on obedience and discipline and
I
that
am
sort of thing?
Exaggerating a bit now that I think about it. It was probably, that was the one memory that I remember why they took her out, but it was probably because the headmaster or whatever was just not likable or not that great of a teacher, or maybe the kid didn't like it, or maybe they needed the extra $20 a week, or who knows.
Huh.
But I just distinctly remember that the pledge was like a point of contention. Like, I don't like that they make them say it when they get there, when they leave, and they have to like take a big X and write it on Obama's head and make their own MAGA hats or whatever.
So we got basic karate, we got teen and adult karate, and then there is Warriors/Ninjas program.
You can be
also
a ninja?
Kids in those pictures. If you can be a ninja, you should be a ninja.
Can you legally offer that? Like, you can legally train people in Kung Fu, but can you say, like, I run a ninja school and you will be a ninja?
Can you become a ninja in real life is what Google autofills.
I hope people like the dumbass part of our show equally to the smart
side. Do you think this is dumb? Well, yes. It's entertaining.
Well, like he does an actual martial art that we know nothing about, and then instead of learning about that actual martial art, we're having what fun. Are some karate schools nearby, and can you become a ninja at them? How much does that cost? How many throwing stars do you get?
I think this is quality entertainment. Very, very few ninjas exist today is the opening thing that comes up.
I'm surprised there's one.
Can you become a ninja in real life? The very first thing that it says in bold, the rest isn't in bold, but it says in bold, very few ninjas exist today. Yeah. And being a ninja is considered to be a dying art. This is, they even source this and everything. This is like from BBC News 2012. Like someone was like, here's my source for considering being a ninja a dying art. I got this from BBC News. Holy shit.
The last ninja is now on life support. Their oxygen supply is running low, threatening the world to no longer have any ninjas left.
those still remaining are not passing on their roles as secret assassins. That you know of? What do you mean?
Did you ever hear Derek?
What?
Did you hear Derek Phelps' joke where he gets a Totino's pizza and he ate it, and then he's like, afterwards, my mouth got really salty. And then I looked in the box and it said that it contains 33% sodium. Like, I feel like if the pizza was 33% ninjas, I would see the ninjas. And they're trained not to be seen.
That's very funny.
It's such a false premise because, I mean, of course, it's not 33% sodium. It's like 33% of your daily requirement of it. But that's what stand-up is. It's just all straw man and false premise extrapolation. Bizarre.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves of it, because I'm like, oh, do I tell the comic afterwards? And like it might help their life to know why train doors open in this particular way. And like everyone's laughing at them not knowing. They think they're laughing with them. Like, why do train doors open like that? And so there's stand-up comedy is really a stupid sort of a thing, if I'm being honest.
Oh, it's the dumbest art form. It's fun. I love it. I can't wait to do it again. Here are some of my favorites: Maria Bamford, Doug Stanhope, Mitch Hedberg. Oh, of course, Mitch Hedberg, Joan Rivers, George Carlin. Shit. But
it's full of a whole bunch of turds as well.
Carlin was saying that it was it's a low art form, but it's an art form of the people. So the people go up on stage and have their voices heard.
He would have never inflected heard like that in that sentence exactly, but I enjoyed it. However, okay, so then it says, this is just the last sentence. This is just a one paragraph thing when you Google this. However, their techniques and training will live on in some training schools, along with their continued portrayal in entertainment. First off, I don't believe that if you want to be a secret assassin, that there's no way of figuring out how to become a secret assassin. I feel like if you work hard, it's easier than becoming an astronaut.
I don't know, but astronauts have better technology each year, and then forensics also gets better each year. So if you want to be an assassin, like you have to have a better sneakiness and toolkit every second. Yeah, I can't imagine how you could kill someone today. Not that I want to. I mean, I would have them struck dead by a laser that's not tied to me from a satellite, but
sure.
But like,
you push them off a cliff.
Yeah,
you gotta get people near a cliff. Well, I don't know, but if you throw someone off a cliff, if you just like beat them up off a cliff, can that? No, I don't know, because if someone drops from that far, you'd think it would mask many of the whatever ninjaing you did to that person's body.
Yeah. And Amazon will know that you ordered the ninja stars.
Yeah, that's true. Getting throwing stars. I had throwing stars for a while. I was terrible
Real
with
ones?
them. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was really bad with them. They're hard. They're really... Remember my blowgun story?
Oh, yeah. That's episode 14, I think, maybe.
Something like that. Well, you can master a blowgun in not that long. But ninja stars... Ooh, that's a tricky one.
It's more of a frisbee, right? But it's easier than a frisbee because there's less wind resistance because it's heavier, or rather, the wind does not act on it.
Last little thing, I found wayofninja.com, and then there's a thing, how to be a ninja, and then there's just 3 guidelines that I'd like to share.
Is this realultimatepower.net?
This is wayofninja.com.
Okay.
And then and it literally opens, how to be a ninja in real life, ? All of them keep on saying in real life. Is that how people talk now? And then he goes, you've always wanted to move and fight like a ninja, but never thought it was possible. That's exactly right. That's it. You nailed it. I've always wanted to move and fight like a ninja, and I never once thought it was possible. I still do.
Keeps you up at night.
I feel like if I had a real shot at moving and fighting like a ninja, I would dedicate like 5 years. Not like super, like as much time as I'm playing pickleball, which is like 4 hours a day right now. I'd throw 4 hours a day down to ninjaing around.
4 hours is a lot. That's impressive. Pickleball.
Yeah.
4 consecutive hours. Water breaks, bathroom breaks.
I've been going twice a day recently. Morning and evening. I just played before this recording. And I played. Are
you the hot shot on the field? Or the court, I guess is what they call it.
Well, because it's a lot of the same people going all the time. So we're all just getting better together, and so it's like, and everyone knows everyone's tricks, so a lot of the things that we're working, you got to keep on like learning new things and reinventing the moves, like I'm sure being a ninja. So the real ninja no longer exists. No ninjutsu schools today can verify the historic lineage. This is so depressing. Historical ninja reconstruction and research doesn't interest you. I don't know what that means. What's more, we've ruled out joining professions that are modern versions of what a ninja did. The army, special forces, and espionage. See, I feel like you can get into espionage. Like, I think if you set a goal at a young enough age and be like, I want to get into espionage, I feel like you could. And I still think it'd be fun to be
like James Bond style. Like how accurate, I mean, not completely, of course, but I wonder what the closest to James Bond job is.
I think they just get you really good at computers and then you go and apply for a computer job in another country, you know, and then you just learn what they're up to. You just get,
but you don't have a gun and you're not breaking into a facility with like lots of metal around and you're hanging by a, like those action sequences are probably, you couldn't invest an intellect and an action person in the same person probably, because oh shit, one person died that knows all the computer things, they're done.
You'll get no argument from me, but I would think that if you have the chance between doing data entry at just like whatever job in town or doing data entry for espionage, like that adds a little spice to it. Plus you're getting extra income. You get the income from the job and then you get a huge espionage income. And you get like little pills that if you swallow, you die instantly.
Ooh. Yeah, one of your teeth is made of cyanide and you just have to chomp down on it really hard. And you got to avoid eating nuts because some people have gone out accidentally that way.
We're almost 30 minutes in, haven't touched the piece yet.
Oh, right. I forgot this is an episode. I thought that was NinjaCon 84. Like, is James Bond a ninja, or is it because he's British? He can't be. Are ninjas only Japanese? Were samurais at war with ninjas? Which was more honorable? I think the samurais were. Who was quicker?
So this is such a ridiculous episode. This might be my favorite Mind Under Art so far.
It's a good one. Yeah, I hope Hedonic Health likes it. And I love that name too, because hedonic, you know, bad, health, good. So you think of salad, but you also think of, you know, drinking, you know, straight 181 or whatever that alcohol is that has lots of alcohol in it. what's it called? 184?
Everclear?
186?
Everclear is
Everclear is like
rubbing
80
alcohol.
proof or 120 proof or something.
I think
but
it's 195 proof.
Yeah. There was this one
190.
alcohol that tastes terrible, and it's so high in alcohol, and it was a number, but I don't remember now.
Have you ever had Everclear?
Yeah.
It's hard to think of something being worse than that. It's
rubbing alcohol.
I once did 5 shots of Everclear in a row on a dare, and it was just such a dumb dare. And I puked violently after, like, right afterwards.
Yeah, because it's like having 15 shots of something else, right?
It was so crazy. Yeah, I mean, thankfully I puked violently. Imagine had I not puked violently afterwards, I'd be dead right now.
Puking is a friend. Puking is a feature, not a bug.
So here's become a modern ninja in 3 guidelines. Because now I'm thinking about just putting this episode out as like a regular episode to tease the sort of weird shit that people get if they subscribe to our Patreon. So maybe we'll just make this a hair longer. But
maybe. But also, there's nothing wrong with keeping it good, at least by our standards, on the Patreon.
Oh no, it'll be good. We'll end it when it ends. But we haven't even talked about the piece yet, and I'm not done talking about ninjas.
Me neither, friend.
So becoming a modern ninja, 3 guidelines. Number 1, keep it practical, realistic.
Pardon my ass?
Amazing? Isn't that amazing? So you want to become a ninja. First things first, keep it practical. I'm here to become a ninja. What do you mean? All right, keep it practical.
It's not going to community college. It's the opposite of practical. Go get a welding certificate. Go become a welder. Get a practical degree.
Keep it practical, realistic, and legal. Should I just read this whole fucking thing? This is outrageous. Is this a joke site? It feels like a joke.
Isn't that the worst when you're laughing at something like because you think it's real and then you're like, that's the joke.
Yeah, that's the joke of it. I think this is meant to be. No, they sell training guides and stuff and fitness things. This is legitimate. Meaning to be legitimate.
Legitimately intentioned, yeah.
Yeah, so under this, keep it practical, realistic, and legal. It says, sure. ... sneaking around undetected while using fire, in parentheses, gunpowder.
They have fireballs.
In parentheses, just say gunpowder. You are okay. Sneaking
Smoke
around
bomb.
undetected while using fire as distraction is cool. But such skills have no practical purpose for regular people like you and me. They are even a security threat when the knowledge falls into the wrong hands.
Ooh.
The wrong hands.
We've got to get the guide.
What the fuck are they talking about?
If we hit a certain Patreon limit, we got to buy the guide and do an episode about the guide.
Oh, man. So opt for warrior hacks that have uses in your real life and against probable threats. I mean, that's not bad, but then what am I a ninja for? Like, what do you mean probable threats? I want to be a secret fucking assassin.
This sounds like a castrated non-alcoholic ninja. I want the industrial strength, real, legit ninja experience, not practical open-minded, goal-setting, incrementally sneaky ninja.
Yeah, this is like a modern ninja bullshit. Because number 2 is look beyond old manuals. Well, come on. Okay. It says, well, historical ninja manuals teach valuable lessons. We need to adapt them.
I've been saying this forever. We do need to update these ninja manuals, and I think it's just it's an abomination that we live in a society with unupdated ninja manuals.
Some little ninja needs to get in there and sneakily fix that sentence, because it says, well, historical ninja manuals teach valuable lessons. We need to adapt them. ADAPT. They meant to say update, as you said. Some techniques are bound only by the feudal period and are obsolete today. I don't know what the feudal period is. Whole nother wormhole. My goodness. I guess this is like a 5-part episode.
Medieval slavery, is that right? Like feudal lords and stuff. Like if you lived on their land, they own the land, and you get to live on it by working for them. I think that's what it was.
Yes, you're right. It goes king, nobles, knights, peasants.
Mm-hmm. And you're lucky if you're even a peasant.
Knights, like, it's just one category for all knights. Like, that seems kind of...
Knights were...
They need a belt system.
I was reading that knights are actually... more often than not, they were just kind of rich aristocrat men that didn't have to actually battle, but just got the glory and the decorations and the sword fight. Maybe not all the time.
The armor looks mostly decorative.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever go to a museum and there's like this 5-foot high little...
Yeah,
like,
they were
metal,
all tiny.
Like, wow. Like that metal is... weighing you down. I feel like I could easily just, even with your sword, I'm not scared of it now because you're covered in metal. It's not just heavy, but the joints are weird and everything. You have no mobility. I feel like I could just get in there and poke your eyes out if you're wearing like no problem.
Maybe it's because it's meant to only fight other people who are also in armor. So you're both starting at that disadvantage. And it's kind of like, this might be a stretch, but
that's like that's like getting those rental sumo costumes.
I was just going to bring up sumo, that that it's considered legal but very rude, but it's not an illegal move, but to step out of the way at the beginning, because like you charge at each other. And then if one person were to just step out of the way, like, and they're charging and they don't know,
just goes flying.
Yeah. And like some people have won using that strategy and they just get booed, but they still win because it's legal.
Rude.
But if it's it sucks, because if everyone played like that, like the beginning would just be this hesitation thing and it misses the magic of the initial charge. So you got to have that honor system of no ducking out of the way. But that's sumo, much like the ninjas, because they're the same. No, sumo is opposite. Sumo wants to be seen. They're naked. They're big. They charge at you instead of running behind smoke. So if you want to be a good ninja, just do the opposite of the sumo manual. Right?
I mean, as I'm reading this, there are some practical things. They're like, when you need to be stealthy in the woods, would you construct a flaming yukatake, whatever that is, but it's some sort of light thing. And it says, why not use a glow stick instead?
Glow sticks didn't exist at the time of ninjas.
But it's not, I'm going to say it's not a bad update. I mean, I feel like a ninja with a glow stick. It's not, I don't know. I'm not totally against it. I know.
You could rob and assassinate people just through confusion.
Yeah.
Like this guy completely dressed in black just threw glow sticks on my yard. And he had
there is a
manual.
note here. It says, if your goal is to experiment with ninja techniques used centuries ago, then go ahead. That's just the note that it says. And then it says, so here's the third one, and then we'll move on. But this is just too ridiculous.
That's sad. I'll miss it.
I mean,
But
I do.
the time.
There's just
The time
so
to
much
escape.
sight to go through. Yeah, the time escapes us.
Yeah, and hedonistic health didn't ask for this, but it's what they got.
Yeah, you never know.
What's their name again? Did they say their real name?
Yeah, their real name is Tommy Di Stefano, but Di Stefano.
Oh, Tommy Di Stefano.
Di Stefano, yeah.
I don't know if it's Di Stefano or Di Stefano. I've heard it both ways. There's Mike Di Stefano. That was the hilarious comic.
Yeah.
What? With an E? And then there's Chris Di Stefano, who's also a New York guy, hilarious.
Yeah.
And now we have our own Di Stefano.
Yeah, I was in Aspen, and Mike Di Stefano did the Moth there. He was in the festival, and he did the Moth, and he had just these outrageous, touching AIDS stories that were just oof.
Yeah,
he was a good storyteller.
He was the best. I mean, there's lots of bests, but I say the best with a lot of people.
But back to ninjas,
and he was friends with mobsters, or at least he was friendly with a couple of them. Right.
So number 3 is for being a ninja is be true to what you want. You don't have to just join a new jitsu school just to be a modern ninja, but train in a variety of disciplines and always go for what appeals to you. Be honest.
You're robbing someone, like, I'm going to take all your valuables.
All of this site is so... you want skills that seem to surpass human limits. Great. The confidence and control, absolutely. To be aware of your surroundings and to know what to do in a threatening situation. Okay. I mean, still, ninjas to me feel like they're on the offense, not the defense, self-defense side of things. I feel like that's a different kind of training. I want to be stealing jewels. I want to be assassinating on the sneak. I want to be I'm not living my life like, oh, what if this person in the grocery store snaps? Would I be able to defend myself with a pan or whatever? Like, I don't know. I don't care. But I'm not worried about
lucky of you to be in the pan aisle.
Yeah. I'm just not going to get in a fight as an adult unless I'm a ninja. And then I'm going to, if I get caught breaking into a thing.
The honesty thing sounds more samurai. Like, be honest, be true, be vigilant, be present, paint with a single stroke, but express your entire being. In that single stroke, the master of the sword is also the master of the brush.
I'm looking at this thing, and if you just go down, I wish I was sharing the screen with you, but our dumb program, I
can't believe we pay $800 a month for this thing that doesn't let us screen share. If you ask me, it's a waste of $800 a month. But people like the show, so we keep doing it.
Modern ninjas are like parkour and stuff.
Parkour is impressive as fuck.
Yeah, I rock climb. Looks like rock climbing's a big part of learning to ninja around. So I know a little bit of that.
Have you ever done speed climbing?
No, I tried. I'm not great at it. It's also the routes that they set up for speed climbing are insane. You need to be I can't speed climb a speed climbing route. It's difficult. but I think it's a different technique entirely. There's just this little section that I wish you could see that just says function, strength, obstacles, and movement. And so it's like physical training, how to be a ninja. And then there's just a GIF. So I'm just watching on a loop of a guy just jumping into the air, grabbing a pipe, and then sliding through. There's like a 6-inch like little hole in the top of a door that they're sliding through, which, you know, that's a lot of time to learn that technique, to hope that wherever you're sliding into has a massive opening on the top of the door and a pipe that you can grab onto that lets you slide right into it. I mean, it looks
extremely
impressive.
Specific scenario that is not nerfed at all.
That is, ninjas are just one of the. It's like the Costanza of martial arts, of like having the next time that happens, I'm gonna get them with where did the jerk store called
running out of you. Oh yeah, well you're their number one bestseller. Oh yeah, well I slept with your wife. His wife is actually in a coma.
All right, let's talk about the piece.
The piece.
Yeah.
Did we even say which one it is yet? I think we did, but we can reiterate.
Oh, I haven't even finished his thing. I didn't even finish saying it.
Oh,
okay.
that's so funny.
That's so funny. He goes, the rest of his thing is, he goes, and this piece does a great job of portraying the type of attitude that can help when trying to progress toward a goal or dial in sustainably a healthy lifestyle. One of the, and I wholeheartely agree, it's one of the things that I'm working on right now. One of the reasons I get into coaching is to help people avoid the trap of being sold on some one weird trick. Thank you for that, by the way. That's a huge pet peeve of mine, Tommy. So, but anyway, he says that is supposed to make all of the health and fitness dreams come true, and instead dial in strategies to make progress day to day in a more sustainable way, which is usually boring stuff like eating less processed food. That's solid advice. Mm-hmm. And being active consistently. Boom.
Diet and exercise. Although those two words are scary to people, but it does always boil down to diet and exercise.
Yeah, and like keeping it simple too is I'm all about it. So he says this piece, yep.
Oh, I was going to say, and by diet, I don't mean like, you know, the Atkins diet, but you know, what you're taking in. But yeah, keep reading.
This place is, or this piece rather, is a good anecdote to the mentality that seeks out fad diets, supplements, unsustainable training plans. It's also a good reminder for anyone learning a challenging art or craft not to focus too much on comparing your current state to the imagined self at the top of the mountain. Kind of like how Alan Watts said, life is more of a musical thing where you're supposed to dance rather than a linear journey that is about getting to the end. Thanks for all the delicious salivation introducing honey. Or salivation inducing honey. That's what he said. I'm terrible at reading right now. Well, thanks, Tommy D. Stefano at Hedonic Health. I'd like to thank you, and you're probably epic butthole that's going to do terrific on our Mind Under Matter dating app. So yeah, this piece is fantastic. So the piece, it says, you think you want to be on top of everything, but really you crave the feeling of progress, which can only come from a single step. Fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
And I don't default to that, but that's what I have to remind myself. I think we all have to remind ourselves of it, but it is the whole Sisyphus thing again, where you never get there, and you can either choose to have a fun time because you never get there, or you can choose to be miserable because you never get there. But you never get there. The mountaintop it doesn't come. It's so tragic. But
yeah.
It's fun on the way if you just get closer.
When I'm at my best and things that have done the most for in terms of like reading, getting through really complex or just boring ass sections of books or whatever that I know are good for me, but I'm just not in the mood for, and things like that, working out, whatever else. I've often just had the mentality of when I'm at my best, when I'm being my best self, is like 5 years from now, this is going to pay off. What I'm doing right now is creating a better version of me 5 years from now. And it helps trigger, it helps me delay gratification. It helps me to think long term, but I'm not saying whatever today is, August 23rd, 2020. I'm not saying that August 23rd, 2026, that's going to happen. I'm saying each day I'm living the best that I'm doing is living for myself 5 years from that day.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that image where it's talking about like, oh, I'm afraid to go back to school because then in 4 years I'll be 34. And then you have to realize that regardless of whether you go to school or not, you'll still be 34 in 4 years. So you can either, you're not going to stop your aging by not pursuing the long, difficult thing.
Yeah, that's an important point. Well said. And
we're after the feeling too. Like we know that the destination is not at one point being out of high school was the destination. Like just, if I could just not have to go to school anymore, I'd be happy. And now we're here. We made it and we're still unhappy. So we're after the one step. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that today. I was like, sometimes when I'm feeling my worst, is it like, sometimes I'll be like, I've always been depressed. I'm just a miserable person. That's just who I am. And then other times I'm like, actually I'm not. I was like, no doubt about it. There was a period of time, at least there was a good like 10-year chunk of my childhood that was absolutely just internally miserable and atrocious. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's like a habit or a pattern in my life. And sometimes the reason why I'm feeling off is just because I'm putting off a thing that I don't need to, or drinking too much, or whatever the thing is. And that's it just makes it easier for me to step away rather than being locked into a certain, that's just my personality. I'm just like this miserable person all the time. And then that helps me trigger just little bits of because you can, in any given day, you can easily just be like, you know what, today I am going to clean up my room a little bit. That's a thing that I just did recently that I put off for it was like getting
changes your whole
disgusting.
Perspective, doesn't it?
Oh my God. Yeah. Just
KonMari method is legit.
Yeah.
Like we don't know how much little messes, like a pile of dishes or the bed being unmade or like that wrapper that you left there for 2 days. Like it's seeping into your subconscious and like weighing you down. And then when it's clean, you just feel so light.
Yeah, absolutely. So give us a scoop on this piece. What made you think of it? Do you remember?
I think I know that I was overwhelmed at the time with the amount of stuff I had to do. I'm like, I have to finish these 2 arts. I have to write back to these emails. I have to shift these orders. I have to stick this drumstick up my ass. I have to call my grandmother. I have to like do all this stuff. And then I was like, at the same time,
you have a drumstick up your ass.
Yeah.
You're drawing important pieces for this podcast while on the phone with your grandmother.
Yeah, all at once. It was a busy day, but not an abnormal
Not an
day.
unmanageable day, though.
No, but like the desire to be on top of it. I just kept judging myself of like, you're not on top of it. It would be so good if I was on top of it. Inbox 0, deadlines met.
Yeah.
No missed calls left on the red thing. Just all on top of it. And then eventually I realized that's a losing man's game where like, what if I just did the smallest incremental thing, which is a lesson I've drawn about, talked about, known for over a decade, but still I just fall back into it. And
it's easy to forget too.
Yeah. So you just chop up your day into the smallest component you can. Like maybe you can't fit the drumstick up your ass immediately. So it's like, well, can I pick up the drumstick? Yeah, I can pick it up. Can I pull my pants down? Well, my belt is on. Okay, that's okay. Can you remove your belt? Yeah, I can remove my belt. And then you just keep progressing like that. And before you know that, you don't even see the drumstick anymore. And you're there. And then before you know it, you've got a new hill to ascend because the Tetris blocks never stop falling. The Sisyphus mountain never stops having an incline in which you need to roll the rock up. And that's just kind of the tragedy of being a life form.
How am I supposed to listen to anything that you said after before you know it? The drumstick has disappeared. Oh, that's a satisfying feeling, though, isn't it? That fulfillment.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I like that I do say that as a joke, but there's people that actually like that is their truth, and they're like, "Why are they saying that? Like it's funny. Like this is seriously how I can get off. The drumstick is the perfect dimensions and weight." Don't get an old one. You'll get splinters. You want to get one that the glossy finish.
No way is it the perfect size and weight for anybody.
No.
It's so long.
But to accept that there's no such thing as being on top of it, much like with the Tetris art we did, where there's no like, oh, you did it. You beat there's not going to be any blocks anymore. The nature of the game is blocks, gravity, increased sweat.
I mean, it is the like we always talk about the like on the other side. I mean, we need ambition. We need things to live for beyond just endless daily tasks to get up, to drive, to do those endless daily tasks. And so you still do need to kind of imagine direction and imagine peaks and stuff, at least depending on where you are in your life and lifespan development and everything else. And because it's easier and easier when you get older to be like, oh, it was about the journey all along. Well, maybe it wasn't when you were 16.
No, that's just a thing we like to reflect on. Oh, it was about the journey.
Yeah. But I mean, that's again, like the finding the balance of those things and yin and the yang. And
when you're talking about goals and stuff, like those can be seen as milestones, which are still not mountaintops. It's still like a stone along the way.
That
so
keep
it's
moving. Just like a mile marker.
Incremental steps and milestones, but never a finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Until you're dead.
Never
maybe death is like this finish line. And then it's like, you did it. You're at the mountaintop. Yay. And then it's just jazz hands forever. You did it.
It's just that it's that what's the what is it that what's the picture that they take when you cross the freeze frame or whatever? It's just that's finish. The afterlife is the photo. You just stuck like that for eternity, just passing the thing. Like, wow, I didn't think I was going to. At first, it'd be amazing. Like, wow, I actually crossed it. I didn't think I was going to. And okay, I'm just in a perpetual state of frozen in this moment of crossing the finish line. Okay.
I'm going to relive my best moments in my imagination. And then from there, you recursively just inception into different lives.
Oh, man, I can't wait to inception into different lives. I do it regularly, actually.
You've got that good imagination.
Well, yeah. So that was a fun episode. I need to. I don't know. There was so many things at this that it makes me want to. It should be just be a bonus episode for the voids and the visionaries and those sweet honey bears. That's for sure. That's what it should be. But it would also be a fun
we could do
preview.
Patreon samples the way that Flagrant 2 does, where they put 10 minutes of a Patreon on the main feed. We could experiment with that.
I don't know any of those things. But this is a good episode. Even though hardly any of it was about the piece, but it's a great piece. It explains itself pretty well. It's a lot of the topics that we talk about on this show all the time, because I think this is one of the more important words to live by in a human being's life.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about incremental gain so much that we just had to ninja this one up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ninjas.
That was so much fun to let's see. I'm just gonna look at one more little.
Which, by the way, this Capora stuff, it looks legit according to just random people on Instagram. A lot of spinning. Yeah. It's like a breakdancing martial art almost.
Yeah, that was my vibe from it, and it looks awesome.
Oh, it's so breakdancing-y. I really like it.
Yeah. That's a fun one, because most of the martial arts stuff you want to be able to show it off without like, oh no, you don't understand. I could get you in a leg lock right now. Like, okay. I only appreciate that once you have me in a leg lock, and I'm like, okay, all right, tap. Oh, that was neat. Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't look cool.
Dancing. No.
The deadliest stuff doesn't look cool. Just looks like you're hugging someone while they turn purple.
All right, 5 ways to live the legend of modern Japan ninjas. Let's just quick scan them. Let's just sleep like a ninja. That's stupid. It's just like, here's this place that you can go and get small compartments. There's ninja camps. All right, so if you go to Tokyo, you can go and throw throwing stars at a thing. Dine like a ninja. What the fuck is this site? This is some travel site that's like, hey, you want to be a ninja? And it's just all about culturally appropriating the thing, which can sometimes be fun. Sometimes you'll go to a place.
Do you know that it is?
Like,
do you know that they're not authentic ninja Japanese or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, this site looks awful. Yeah, but all right. Well, what I've learned from this is that it's not impossible to become a modern day ninja, but you're probably not going to.
You just got to follow your interests, sleep in a small compartment, be honest,
meditate.
Don't look at the old ninja text and sign up for a camp. Is that it?
Look at the old ninja camp, but don't be too attached to it. Don't be so close-minded that you can't take in like a modern glow stick or something.
Yeah. Stupid Amish ninjas.
A real life ninja, one guy is close. A Japanese university has its first graduate in a ninja program. Cool. You can go to college for ninja.
I love that the bar is being set even lower.
What do you mean?
Like just before you have to major in like physics, math, law or medicine, and then it becomes more like, okay, I'm majoring in like rock and roll from the 80s and the implications on what it did to the 90s. That's my PhD. And then now you can
you can just go to university ninja school, which I'm not against it. I don't know, because think about telling someone, like, what are you going to school for? Ninja. And you don't have the degree yet, so you can't. Yeah, ninjutsu.
If there's only one, we're going to know who it is if someone breaks in.
So in the 16th century, ninjas were thought to be armed farmers who honed their skills to survive in an era of constant warring.
Scorpion was farming.
What's that, a movie?
No, Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, it is a movie. But Scorpion and Sub-Zero, his chain thing with the little shovel at the end of it that he would throw at you and say, "Come here," or "Get over here," in the Sega Genesis version, the one that had blood in it. Yeah, he was farming in that, so he was an authentic farm ninja.
Wow, I like that detail. All right, well, we don't know if this is a full episode or a public or a bonus. I think
this one's so good we should just delete it. It's so good we should just throw it in the trash.
I like that it's like the most amount of butthole talk we've ever done. And I'm like, oh, this one's very good.
This is the best one we've ever done. I'm going to put ad money into this one. I'm sending this to my mom. Look what I've been up to. I bet you're going to reconsider your opinion of me now. Bet you feel pretty silly, huh?
It's just buttholes and ninjas, which is probably the title of the episode.
Oh, Jesus.
This
is like devolving from like our availability heuristic, subconscious, neuropathic alignment. Now, butthole ninjas.
You're right. We got to keep the public stuff on brand. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. We don't know what you just heard, but it was a lot of fun making it. And so until next time,
enroll in ninja school and be honest.
Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, there's a whole nother episode dedicated to movies that we just recorded coming out September 1st, as we do a bonus episode on Patreon every month, as well as a weekly Mind Under Art and lots of other fun stuff, including game night with me and a bunch of other things too. So as a reminder, as always, this is an ad-free show, 100% supported by your Patreon support. So I appreciate your generosity and enthusiasm for this show, and we'll see you on the Patreon community. Bye.